You spend hours on a project, carefully measuring, cutting, and sanding. Every step is done with patience and precision, making sure each piece fits perfectly. You double-check your measurements, run your hands over the smooth surface, and imagine the finished piece coming together. The anticipation builds as you get closer to the final assembly. The final step, gluing, should be the easiest, right? It feels like the home stretch, the moment where all your hard work finally pays off. You squeeze out the glue, spread it carefully, and press the boards together, confident that you're almost done. But then, after the glue dries, you remove the clamps and crack. The joint fails. The sound is unmistakable, and your heart sinks. All that effort, undone in a split second. It's more than just a broken joint. It feels like a personal setback. It's a crushing moment that makes you question your skills. You wonder if you missed something obvious, or if you're just not cut out for woodworking. The disappointment can be overwhelming, especially when you've invested so much time and care. Why does this happen? It's not about fancy tools or secret techniques. Even experienced woodworkers face this problem from time to time. The truth is, glue joints can be tricky, and small mistakes can lead to big failures. The truth, strong glue joints come down to a few simple principles. If you understand these basics, you can avoid most problems before they start. It's about preparation, technique, and a little bit of patience. Done right, a glued joint is often stronger than the wood itself. That's the magic of a well-made joint. It can hold up to years of use, stress, and even the occasional accident. Most failures are caused by common, fixable mistakes. Maybe the surfaces weren't clean, or the glue wasn't spread evenly. Sometimes it's just a matter of not using enough clamps, or rushing the drying time. In this guide, we'll break down those mistakes and show you how to avoid them. You'll see real examples and learn practical tips that you can use right away, no matter your skill level. You'll learn how to make glue joints that last for years. No more heartbreak, just confidence. Imagine building projects that stand the test of time and feeling proud every time you see your work. We'll cover the myths, the right techniques, and a checklist you can use every time. With these tools, you'll be able to tackle any gluing job with certainty and skill. Ready to turn frustration into flawless results? Let's get started. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro, there's always something new to learn about making unbreakable glue joints. Title card: How to Make Unbreakable Glue Joints. Here's the biggest glue myth that trips up even experienced woodworkers. The idea that more glue automatically means a stronger joint is everywhere. We've all been there, drowning a board in glue, convinced that slathering on extra will somehow make the project bulletproof. But the truth is, using too much glue can actually weaken the bond instead of strengthening it. Wood glue is designed to work by soaking into the wood fibers, creating a bond that's almost as strong as the wood itself. When you apply too much, you end up with a thick layer that can't cure properly. Instead of hardening, it stays soft and rubbery, which means your joint is weak and unreliable. The real secret is to use just enough glue to create a thin, even film that wets both surfaces completely. Apply a small bead, then spread it out thinly, almost like you're painting the wood. You want to cover the surface, but not drown it. The glue should look translucent, not like a thick, goopy mess. If you can barely see it, you're doing it right. This approach gives you a joint that's not only strong and durable, but also clean, with minimal squeeze out to clean up later. You'll save time and avoid the frustration of scraping off dried glue. Remember, a thin layer bonds the wood fibers together perfectly. A thick layer just sits on top, making a mess and weakening your project. So next time you reach for the glue bottle, think quality over quantity. That's the real secret to a strong, lasting glue joint. Clamping is all about balance. Not too tight, not too loose. Too little pressure leaves gaps. Too much squeezes out all the glue. You want just enough pressure to close gaps and see a small, even bead of squeeze out. Tighten until snug, then a little more. Don't overdo it. The right pressure ensures the glue bonds the wood, not just the surfaces touching. Visual cue. Little pearls of glue along the seam. That's your sign you've nailed it. Firm, even pressure is the goal. Forget brute force. Think precision. That's how you get a perfect joint. Gluing end grain? If you've ever tried to glue two pieces of wood together at their ends, you might have noticed the results aren't always as strong as you'd hope. This is a classic challenge in woodworking, and it all comes down to how wood behaves at the microscopic level. It's like gluing a sponge. Most glue gets sucked in, leaving a weak joint. The end grain acts almost like a bundle of tiny straws, drawing the glue deep inside instead of letting it stay on the surface where it's needed most. End grain absorbs glue deep into the fibers, starving the surface of adhesive. This means the glue can't form a strong bond between the two pieces, and the joint is likely to fail under stress or weight. The fix: avoid pure end grain joints when possible. Instead, use joinery like dowels, pocket holes, or other mechanical fasteners that add strength and stability to your project. Mortise and tenon joints, for example, are classic solutions that provide a much larger surface area for glue to bond, making the connection far more durable. But what if you must glue end grain? There's a trick called sizing that can make a big difference. To size, brush on a thin coat of glue to the end grain first. This initial layer acts as a primer, soaking into the wood and filling up those thirsty fibers. Let it soak in and dry for a few minutes. This step is crucial. It prevents the second coat from disappearing into the wood, ensuring there's enough glue left on the surface to create a strong bond. Then, apply a second coat and assemble your joint while the glue is still wet. This way, you're giving the glue a real chance to do its job. Sizing seals the fibers and gives the glue something to bond to, making the joint much stronger than it would be otherwise. Reinforcement is key. Never rely on glue alone for end grain. Add dowels, screws, or other reinforcements to ensure your project stands the test of time. Even a simple half-lap joint is stronger than a butt joint. The more surface area you create for the glue, the stronger your connection will be. Always think about how you can maximize contact between the pieces. Sizing and reinforcement turn a weak joint into a reliable one. Don't skip this step if you want your woodworking to last for years to come. It makes all the difference. Your projects will be stronger, safer, and much more satisfying to build. You've glued and clamped everything perfectly. Now comes the hardest part: waiting. It's tempting to remove clamps early, but patience is critical. Most wood glues need at least 30-60 minutes of clamp time, but that's just the start. Full strength takes about 24 hours. If you stress the joint too soon, you risk invisible fractures that weaken it. Don't rush. Let it cure undisturbed for a full day. Plan your next project, watch some videos, but leave it alone. This waiting period is non-negotiable for maximum strength. Think of it as part of the process, not wasted time. Strong joints are built on patience. Resist the urge to poke and prod. Your future self will thank you. Let the glue do its job. Want proof your glue joint is strong? Test it on scrap wood. Glue two pieces, clamp, and let cure for 24 hours. Try to break the joint. If it fails, the wood should splinter, not the glue line. This is called wood failure, the gold standard. If the glue line pops cleanly, something went wrong. Too much glue, bad clamping, or end grain. This simple test builds confidence and shows you what a perfect joint looks like. Practice on scraps before your real project. The goal: the glue holds, the wood breaks. That's how you know you've mastered the technique. Instant feedback, real results. Don't skip this experiment. It's the best way to learn. Here's your quick checklist for flawless glue joints. Prep surfaces: flat, smooth, and clean. Aim for long grain to long grain contact whenever possible. Avoid plain end grain joints. Reinforce or size if you must. Apply a thin, even layer of glue. Think paint, not frosting. Clamp with firm, even pressure until you see a small bead of squeeze out. Don't over-tighten and starve the joint. Let clamps sit for at least an hour, then leave the project undisturbed for 24 hours. Don't sand or move it early. Follow these steps every time. You'll get strong, reliable joints. No more surprises. Share your glue-up stories in the comments. Keep building with confidence.